Yes people, what is happening, how are we all doing, and welcome back to the channel. In this video right here, we're going to be taking a look at the Durrr Burger Bundle, and I'm going to be essentially letting you know whether or not you should be buying it, and we will be doing a full review. Right then, let's not waste any more time people, let's take a look at everything that you get as part of this bundle. It is pretty big, it is 2,000 V-Bucks in the item shop. One thing I want to cover first though is I'm not crazy, okay? I know this bundle has been out for quite a long time now, but as I've kind of recently started a series where I go through every single Lego kit and essentially tell you what I think of it and give it a rating, I thought, why not go back to the slightly older ones and take a look at those? Because obviously, there's new people coming to Lego Fortnite all the time. There's the chance that they may want to pick this up and want to know exactly what it's like, or maybe you just even got hold of some V-Bucks and you can't really decide on which one to go for. So the three buildings that you get, people, are the franchise, the flagship restaurant, and the takeout counter. They are pretty big, and they're also very, very unique. We'll do a little quick walkthrough on the inside so we can just take a look at them. As you can see, second floor to this one, and we've got the Durrr Burger sign out the front there. That is probably the second biggest one, I think. This is definitely the biggest one. It's absolutely huge. As you can see, they're massive. They're absolutely massive. They do take quite a long time to build compared to a lot of other buildings that you get as part of Lego kits. This one has a kind of few slightly smaller rooms. It does also have a second floor as well, but it's a second floor that's kind of hidden because you can't really see any of it from the front of the restaurant. It's literally like little back rooms upstairs, and you've got this really, really oddly shaped room at the top. I'm not a fan of this room, to be honest with you. It's really awkward to build in just because of this ceiling here. It doesn't, like, the shape of it doesn't really work well for builds, in my opinion. And this right here is the final building that you get as part of this bundle. It is the smallest one by far. Not that much room in this one, but it is a nice size if you're looking to build something a little bit smaller. You don't even necessarily have to build all of them at once, but it's definitely the smallest of the three. In terms of what you're going to need to build them, really not that difficult. Mostly granite from what I can remember. Let me just check for you. Granite, wood, planks, and wooden rods. Very, very easy. It's just differing amounts for each one. Probably some of the easiest resources you're going to get. But those are the buildings right there. They are very unique. They are probably right now my favourite buildings that we've had as part of Lego kits. I'm a really big fan of these, just because there's a lot of nostalgia with Durrr Burger from the OG days of Fortnite, and I just think they're really unique buildings, and definitely my favourite of the ones we've got so far. But here we have the decor items that you get as part of this bundle, and as you can see, it's pretty juicy, alright? You get an absolute ton of decor items with some really, really unique ones, to be honest. These are outdoor tables. I'll just gradually kind of go through everything fairly slowly so you can see exactly what they would look like if you build them in your survival world. A few different counters of varying sizes here. I'm not really a fan of these ones with the sticking out bit. I kind of, generally if I'm building with this set, I tend to go with these ones, and those are probably, they're easier to put against the wall, I think. It makes them look a little bit smarter in my opinion. These are all various different chairs. That one doesn't really have any back to it. These are slightly more impressive, and we've got a slightly different design there. But if you do decide to build with the set, you can go with these slightly bigger benches here. All, of course, coming from the Durrr Burger Bundle. You even get a brand new sink as part of this, and that is that one right there. A couple of lights. That's one that you're more likely to put on some kind of table, and this to me is more of an outdoor one. I built a massive Durrr Burger village, which you can see in another video, and I used a lot of these lights. Just behind here, we've got this shelf here, which is kind of like a storage shelf, but it's more for show. You can't actually store anything in it or on it. So keep that in mind. It's very much for show. You can't do anything with that one. But with this one, you actually can. It's a closet or a wardrobe, depending on where you live in the world. And it's got 8 spaces, as you can see. Quite a lot of them have 10, but this one is a little bit smaller, unfortunately. It's more like a locker that you might get if you worked at a Durrr Burger restaurant. Some slightly differing things here. We've got a napkin dispenser. It's okay, but it's not necessarily that exciting. These two things here are more like storage kind of things if you're looking to indicate that things are being stored somewhere in your village, but you can't actually store anything in them, just to be very clear. We've got this rug here, the Durrr Burger rug. This is a really, really cool one, and in my village I've got it pretty much everywhere. We've got a wall detail here, which is of course again Durrr Burger themed. Now, I'm going to touch on that in a little bit more detail in a second, as well as some of these other items once I've gone through every single thing in this decor bundle. This is a condiment dispenser, so it's meant to have things like ketchup, mustard, that kind of thing. The sign is really, really cool. I think these are supposed to be different types of coffees here, and then you've got the burger on top. You can even get this giant Durrr Burger statue statue right here, but that is another thing that I'm going to touch on in a second, because in terms of the resources you need for it, it's really weird. A couple of different tills here if you're trying to pretend that people are literally buying burgers from your village. Those are the kind of things you'd be using there. That one is definitely more impressive than that one. It's not even close in my opinion. This one is way better. This could be one of my favourite decor items, not only in this bundle, but in terms of all of the Lego kits we've had. It is a drink dispenser, and I just think it looks absolutely brilliant. You've got all the different colours for the different flavours, and I don't know what it is about it. It's just something about it that I really like, and I try to use it in different villages wherever I can. It's difficult because it's Durrr Burger themed, but I just think it's such a great decor item. Then we have some things which are way bigger, as you can see. You've got the Durrr Burger sign there, which is available on all of the buildings as part of the prefab. This giant ketchup and mustard, which is absolutely huge, by the way. I've got a couple of those in my village, and it's massive. These are all essentially ventilation items. They're the kind of things that you would put on the roof of your Durrr Burger building just to give it a couple of extra details. Some of them are slightly more easy to build in terms of the resources you're going to need. Again, I'll touch on that in a second. You can see it's a big variety in terms of what you want to go with. A few different options for you there if you do want to add a couple of extra details to the top of your buildings. And then we have these final things here at the back. This is some kind of like drive-through menu style item. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be, but it's part of that kind of vibe. If you were pulling up to a restaurant and going to order some food, you'd probably have something like that there. And then we have also got the different seating items here. We've got this one here, which is a little bit smaller, and these two absolutely massive Durrr Burger themed one. This is one where you'd kind of have to put your own seating and probably a table underneath, whereas this one actually already has the table on it and you could just stick a few seats around it. I'm a really big fan of this one. I think it's one of the coolest items in this set, which, to be honest, is difficult to say because there is a lot of brilliant items in this decor bundle. So, something very, very interesting about this decor bundle, which I would not say is a good thing, is that some of the items are made from spicy burgers. This wall decoration, this thing right here, this kind of stand, and the massive Durrr Burger statue are made of spicy pepper burgers. They can be quite awkward to get sometimes, particularly for new players, and the number that you need for them is absolutely insane. This one is either like 16 spicy pepper burgers or 20 at least, I think. I can't remember the exact number off the top of my head. And it just baffles me. It really blows my mind that for some reason they've made wall decorations and stuff like that, which is quite clearly either made out of granite or wood, but they've randomly made you get spicy pepper burgers instead. I don't really understand it, and I think it's a ridiculous decision, to be honest, and I genuinely think they should change it. A couple of these items here, these ones are also made from iron bars. So again, if you're a new player or you don't happen to have that many iron bars because you've used it on things like swords, which you definitely need in your survival world, you might not even be able to build these. You need quite a few iron bars for these. These ones aren't necessarily on the same level, they're much easier to do, but these two here are pretty awkward to build. And again, very, very strange decision in my opinion. And I really think that Lego Fortnite in general needs to be thinking about what they are building these kind of items out of, because they're really locking some of them behind kind of end game resources. So if you're a new Lego Fortnite player and you buy this bundle, there's going to be a lot of stuff here that you can't build in a survival world. You're going to have to do it in sandbox like I've done right here, because you're never going to have the materials for it. It's crazy. I don't know what they were thinking. But that is every single thing from the bundle. That is every single building that you can get. So just to very quickly mention as well, this bundle doesn't really have any particularly unique features. There's not anything crazy you can do with any of these items. You can't kind of do much with them, although they are very, very cool, and I do think it's a strong bundle in terms of decor items and buildings. There's not necessarily anything massively unique about them. So 2,000 V-Bucks in the item shop for all of this stuff here, and I do think for that price, it's not necessarily cheap, but I think the value for money is really good. The decor items you get are fantastic, and there's a massive load of them. If I was to give this a rating out of 10, oh, it's a really, really tough one. I think I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10. Yes, I would agree with a lot of people who say that the bundle and some of the others are too expensive. I do agree with that, but with the prices as they are now, I think the value for money is very good. I love the decor items that you get. I think they're all brilliant, even if some of them can be a little bit awkward to make. The buildings are absolutely fantastic, and if you're getting a Lego kit from the item shop, I would strongly recommend this one. It's probably one of my favourites. And so there we have it then, people. That is going to be everything that I've got for you in this video right here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.